Welcome to Growing Younger Health and Fitness podcast designed for people over 40. Hello guys, Gavin and Alex here with another podcast, and the topic for today's podcast is going to be staying on track, just not running after another shiny object, and in relation to you getting to your health and fitness goals, how to get to your goal without being distracted all the time.
So I think we when we do our consultations or when we speak to people that come in to talk about our program, a lot of times people have tried like 30 different things. It could be Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or calorie counting or keto or intermittent fasting. And they do all those things because they think the next thing is the shiny object, a bit like a magpie, right? And what a lot of people do, they get sort of bogged down in those new shiny objects, and they never really stick anything long enough to get results, isn't it?
Right.
And I think like with health and fitness in general, like Alex has been training for how long? Since you were like how old? 16?
Probably less than for 14 maybe.
14, right? And you're like 40 now, just over. There's a lot of time in the gym. Like I lost all my weight 14 years ago, and I've been doing the same basic stuff over and over and over again because that's what it takes. And I think people are often led to believe that they can get the quickest result as fast as possible. And then once that's done, they go back to what they did before, gain all the weight or get unfit and get back and going. So kind of that's really what it is, shiny object syndrome. And
well, I think the other aspect to it as well is like these days particularly, you've got social media, okay? And this, even though there's a good aspect and a bad aspect, and I think the good aspect is there's all the information you ever wanted, it's all there. Like back in the old days, you have to go to the library or speak to a professional to get all the answers. These days you can just go and Google it. Okay, now the problem with that is that there's so much information, there's actually an information overload. So people want to lose weight or whatever their goals are, so they go on Facebook, they go on Google, and they find these so-called experts, and then everyone's got a different opinion. So they try one thing, and then another expert comes along, and they try this other thing next week, and the week after they try something else. And each of those individual things potentially could be a good one. Like it could work if you could only just stick to it long enough. But you can't expect that, you only do it for like 3 days or a week or 2 weeks and it will work. It just, there's no magic involved, isn't it?
No, that's right.
So it's just about consistency. Like, do your research, pick the thing that you think has the highest chance of working for you, and give it a good go. Like, don't just switch to something else in a week's time. Make sure you give it a really good go before you decide that it's not the right thing for you.
There's two concepts I've learned just recently, and I've said it a couple of times. But the first one is uninformed optimism. So when people jump onto a particular way of doing something, they're really excited. They're uninformed. They don't actually know the mechanics of what this thing is. And when they start to do it and they realize it's called informed pessimism, where they go, shit, this wasn't as awesome as I thought it was, and it's actually going to take some work. And you got to get over that thing. And I think you got to really sort of understand that when you start something, it's going to be difficult, and you've just got to get through that period to make it easy. You got to make new habits, and really the fundamentals of getting fit and getting healthy and weight loss, it all comes down to exactly the same thing. It's a calorie balance in and out. What you eat, what you move, right? So there's two variables to change. Every single diet out there, every single program out there has two components: exercise and usually diet, everything. So if you can understand that for yourself, then you can make this thing way easier for you. So when you're looking at the heart health websites and stuff, for argument's sake, they recommend 150 to 200 minutes of cardio per day. That's it. Do that. Per week, sorry, which is like about 20 minutes a day. They also recommend that you eat a calorie-controlled diet for your needs. That's always standard, always been the way. And when you go into those diets, like keto will reduce your calories by no carbs, right? Intermittent fasting, you cut out breakfast, morning snack, dinner, and wines at night, so you eat less calories. So none of those things are magic. They just manipulate those couple of principles, and that is it. But ultimately, you've got to do this effort that you've got to put in somewhere along the line. And as Alex said, you've got to find the road or the vehicle that you think is going to be the best one to get you there. And it's all different, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, be aware of trends. Next thing, like next month, there might be a new trend. Like, and it doesn't mean that it's better than what was known to work before. It seems to be a popular thing that everyone's talking about on Facebook. It's no better or worse than what you might have tried in the past. But it's just do your research, and yeah, just once you decide what you want to do, just have a really good go at it, and hopefully it will work.
Yeah, there's a new drug in a minute. Have you done Ozempic?
No.
Ozempic. Okay, Ozempic is kind of taking the diet world by a bit of storm in a minute, and it's extremely effective. It's an injection you put into yourself, and what it does is it blunts your hunger essentially. But it's like going off so 300. Like it's roughly, don't quote me, $300 a jab. But what it's doing is that the side effects of this are quite immense. Whereas they're like, if you was to take all the weight loss you had as 100%, like 25% of that weight is muscle mass, right? And so what it is, yes, you lose lots of weight really fast, but you're also losing lots of muscle mass as well. And that muscle mass that you lose is there for function, for burn calories at rest, and all that good stuff. And what's going to happen is all those people trying Ozempic is that they're going to stop it because it's expensive and it's jabs. People don't want to be injecting themselves. And then when they go to start eating normally again, what's going to happen is they got to suppress metabolism because they got 25% less muscle mass, and they're going to eat the same as they used to go, and they're going to put all their weight back on and more. It's a shiny object, but unless you know understand the principles of what's behind it, you're always going to get stuck. So yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing. It's new. Everyone's talking about it in the fitness and diet industry, and it's quite easy to get tempted with a quick fix.
I think another aspect that I just wanted to mention as well is like people look for shortcuts. No one wants to do the hard yards, right? And in fact, when you keep looking for shortcuts, you actually end up doing more work than you should be doing if you just did the right thing to start with, right? And all these so-called magic diets that the keto, the intermittent fasting, the Atkins, they all promise you to give you a great result quicker than other things and with less effort. But at the end of the day, you still have to do the hard yards, right? Like intermittent fasting, essentially, it says like they usually tell you, okay, you can have as much food for dinner as you want. You can literally just stuff your face with whatever you like, but as long as you skip the breakfast, which is not entirely true, right? Because it's all about total calorie intake for the day. But each individual next shiny object or next diet, essentially they lead with a promise that quite often is false.
Yeah.
So just again, when you analyze things online and what if your friend tells you, just always use that as am I being promised an unrealistic shortcut that's not going to work for me?
Or you can carry on listening to our podcasts, and we give you the no BS guide and tell you exactly what it is, and we tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That's kind of the thing behind it, isn't it?
So that you're all adults, right? So you want to hear the truth, not like sugarcoating or anything like that.
Yeah, 100%. And even if you're like struggling with like menopause or depressed metabolisms and stuff like that, it's the same thing. You just got to move more and eat a bit less, really, despite your metabolism. And maybe do a video, maybe do a podcast on that again, because we've done some training for our trainers on it. So yeah, maybe we'll do that next time. But yeah,
perfect,
good.
Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, like and subscribe, give us a comment, share it to somebody, and we'll see you on the next one. See you guys. Okay, guys, so I hope you found the podcast of value. If you did and you're struggling with your own health and fitness journey, there's a link in the description for a free discovery call with me. And that free discovery call, we're going to cover off a little bit about you, your history, your goals, what you want to achieve, and maybe we can help you or not with your own health and fitness goal. So if that does sound like something that you'd like to do, then click on the link in the description, and I look forward to chatting to you in the very near future. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.